welcome back. Clean Phil wanted, subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. But I've spent all morning trying different ways of doing something I've wanted to do for a really long time. I usually see things and I want to just figure out how to do them, how to make them. I actually have more pieces over there. These were pieces, more failed pieces. I'm going to try to film this one because I think I might have it right now. I want to make it as a gift for somebody here in New Zealand that I know that I think will appreciate it. His name is Gordon McGavin, and he has been a mentor to me for the past year. Gordon is a Scottish gentleman. He is a retired school teacher. He was also an engineer and a master carpenter and worked for Rolls-Royce. So if you ask me, that's a pretty good CV, pretty good background. This is a shop project, so I'm using a piece of scrap wood here. This is a 2x4, 4x2, 100x50. It's construction lumber. And I'm going to use my Stanley 45 to put a track down the middle of it that will eventually be what rides on the piece of wood. Roy Underhill apparently built a plane like this, made a plane like this at some point, and I've never actually seen that episode, but I have seen blurry pictures of it. So obviously I tried to do this numerous times, wasn't getting it right. I turned to the internet and I found Christopher Swingley at Swingley Dev. I'm going to link to his webpage in the description because I feel fair's fair. He did all that work and I'm using it. 5/8 deep, 7/8 wide. Without the angles that he had listed out, I would have been, again, pretty lost. On the bottom, I'm marking out 28-degree angles, and on the sides, there are 30 and 45-degree angles. Now, the 45 is easy. You just use a combination square. The 30 and the 28, I just Googled the rise and run, drew those out on my bench, and set my sliding bevel to those angles and drew them out. What you see me cutting here is the first wedge. And by the end of this video, what you're going to see is the third wedge. So it's actually, I found it really difficult to figure out the angle. The only tip I can tell you is get a piece long enough and tall enough, put it along that 28-degree angle on the bottom, get the two sides flush with the body of the plane, cut them so they're flush with the body of the plane, and then just transfer the lines straight down with a combination square.
In the end, there's just no good way to hold this wedge while you're sawing it, all the angles on it. So you just do what you can, and you clean it up with a plane. Beg of you, please don't be too mad at me, because the iron that I created here is a ruler, and really I wanted to use a saw blade or a block plane blade on its side, but I didn't necessarily have those sitting around. I did use some metal files, and I used some old cheap diamond plates to shape the iron. Eventually I stropped it. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm really surprised at how well that piece of metal is holding an edge. It's really keeping it well. It actually does work, and it took a lot of tapping, it took a lot of adjustments, but it actually works. I'm amazed.
Yeah, perfect spill, almost perfect spill, perfect spill, perfect spill. That's a perfect spill. And you would take this and you'd light the tip of it with a candle and walk around your house and light all your other candles or your fire. So, hey, it's the morning. I did come out here last night and fiddled about. I think I got it working right, but let's go over this. So, first attempt. Then I tried this version, which would sit kind of like that. This was, I was trying to go off of one that Paul Sellers shows, which I actually really like. I'm still gonna try to figure it out. Third attempt? No. Yes. Third attempt, same idea. Fourth attempt, and then here we are. Don't be too mad at me, but I did use a roller here, and apparently it does work. It works fairly well. The last you saw, I was testing this and testing this. I came back out well after that, and I re-honed the heck out of the center of this just with a strop, and I started getting good results. So I'm gonna say that this is done for what it's gonna be. I'm gonna put a finish on it, but other than that, it's done. And well, I'll plane off these edges. It has the marks in it, that's okay. It makes it look antique, right? Hell of a gift to give to somebody. There's just such an awesome feeling you have when you've made something and it's useful. So it's hard to describe. So you need to go out and do it, because it's just a good feeling.
practices, that'll be good for the firewood.
There you go.
Yeah, what is it?
They're for fire lighting, are they?
People who do flower arranging like these.
There's Gordon. He's playing.
A bit volatile for a taper, wouldn't it?